I am delighted to welcome all of you to Baltimore to announce the sale of the Metro West Complex, which is mobilizing economic growth in downtown, and it will generate a new source of tax revenue for the city. I know somebody has to be happy about the tax revenue. Thank you, I am. I'm so glad to be here today to speak about our shared vision and how we've worked together to fortify reinvestment in our neighborhood corridors through collaborative initiatives like this one. Many of us have been convening since 2011 as a part of an innovative university partnership, and just city with a big C. I have to do it. It's like, you know, this is a university partnership, the University of Maryland and the City of Baltimore, and it's powerful. It's a powerful partnership, and through that effort, we determined that the redevelopment of the Metro West Complex in particular was a critical component to our overall success in this corridor. I'm also glad to be joined by my friend and colleague, Dr. Perman, President of the University of Maryland, Baltimore. We have worked so closely together on this partnership and on a shared vision for what this community could be, and I could not be more proud that we were able to deliver with this partnership that is collected here today, this announcement today. It means a lot to me, and I know that as we look back at what we've been able to do over the years, this will be a day that we will remember. We all want a safer and stronger Baltimore where every neighborhood is thriving, and our combined efforts here is a great step forward. And I'd like to take a moment to thank our elected local and federal representatives for amplifying our efforts and contributing your support and your leadership. Thank you in particular to the entire Obama administration, particularly GSA, for making smart investments in Baltimore. I want to thank Ms. Denise Turner-Roth, Administrator of the U.S. General Services Administration. I want to thank Sarah Manzano-Diaz, the GSA Regional Administrator. I think that she's been to more meetings in Baltimore than you'd like to, but you have a good time when you're here, right? We do, yes, wonderful. I want to thank you in particular. We've been able to do some things that people did not think were going to happen. And I think it's a testament to your leadership and your willingness to think outside of the box on some, yes, rolling up our sleeves and getting the work done. I love it. I want to thank Nate Lowenthal, Senior Policy Advisor, the National Economic Council, and head of the President's Task Force for Baltimore. Thank you very much for standing by us and with us during this critical time. I want to thank our federal reps, in particular, representing Senator Barbara Mikulski, Michelle Brown. Thank you very much. Reverend Jerome Stevens, who's here on behalf of Senator Cardin, Vernon Sims, who's here on behalf of my Congressman Elijah Cummings. I want to thank Kirby Fowler of the Downtown Partnership, Bill Cole from the Baltimore Development Corporation, and I want to thank the managing partner at Caves Valley Partners and the private developer, Arthur Adler, for representing that team. Can we give everyone a big round of applause? I just love when a plan comes together. So the sale of Metro West, the Metro West Complex, is a real economic catalyst that will help revitalize this area. And even greater, we will have contributed we would all have contributed a hand in making this happen. This is a true example of teamwork. And one of my colleagues on the council, when I was on the city council, always used to say, and I know it wasn't his line, but I like to give him credit since, that's where I heard it. He was at the time Councilman Stooks. We used to always say teamwork makes the dream work. And I think the dream of having a vital Metro West was a dream that was shared by so many, and the team that brought it together has it took a lot of heavy lifting. It took a lot of diligence and a lot of commitment, and it's certainly making the dream work. So I now look forward to introducing, and I'm proud to introduce Ms. Denise Turner-Roth, Administrator for the U.S. General Services Administration, who will also share a little more about the Metro West sales and the local impact and the national impact. Thank you so very much, and please welcome Ms. Denise Turner-Rock.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much, and it is wonderful to be here. I won't try to thank the same people that the mayor did, but let me just say I am just amazed at the partnership that has been brought together here, that is a thriving part of the city. And actually, as a native of Washington, I have watched the city of Baltimore develop for quite some years, and it has just been impressive. So it's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to be with Mayor Rawlings-Blake and the others here to recognize that it's only through partnership that leadership really thrives. The Obama administration is committed to supporting the economic development of communities across the country, and GSA plays a central role in this strategy. Our agency manages more than 375 million square feet of space across the United States, which is one of the largest and most diverse portfolios across the globe, in fact. Given this scale, GSA is very well positioned to partner with state and local stakeholders to transform communities ripe for development. Indeed, enhancing our role as a catalyst for nationwide community economic development is a core element of the vision that I have for GSA's future. Over the past year, we have launched an effort we call the Economic Catalyst Initiative, and is focused on leveraging the benefits of the federal government and communities nationwide. Our aim is to help support municipal and regional economic development while promoting competition and getting better outcomes for the federal agencies we assist. For GSA, this means aligning our building, leasing, and relocation plans in support of community goals where synergies exist. Through partnerships with public and private local stakeholders and regional economic development organizations, we manage federal real estate responsibly for the taxpayer while also maximizing support for local economic development. From my time as a local government city official, in which I served as a city manager in Greensboro, North Carolina, I know what these partnerships means for developing communities and how important they are. So now as GSA administrator, I am absolutely committed to play that role nationwide, including right here in Charm City. The Metro West disposal is a perfect example of leveraging GSA's real estate portfolio to support economic development while funding and fueling our duty to save taxpayer dollars. This disposal will save the U.S. government approximately $3.2 million in annual maintenance costs while returning the property to the city tax rolls. And in fact, between this building and another property that we are estimating over $300,000 in return to actual tax payments would be available from these properties. It will transform a vacant lot with a 1 million square foot building to fully utilized site. Redevelopment could mean hundreds of millions in construction with resulting significant job creation. Once completed, thousands of people will occupy this location daily, which will also drive additional retail growth and activity. This disposal will play a significant part in the continued revival of this area. And indeed, the city which has thrived under your partnership and the leadership of Mayor Rawlings-Blake. Metro West is ideally located to serve as a catalyst for economic development. The large multi-parcel tract lends itself to numerous redevelopment possibilities as a new economic anchor for the west quadrant of the city. And it is conveniently located close to major employment and transportation centers. This neighborhood has long been considered a natural location for revitalization, given its proximity to the Central Business District, as well as the University of Maryland Medical Center, as well as Camden Yards. And this project builds on other Obama administration efforts in cooperation with Mayor Rawlings-Blake and other local stakeholders to invest in Baltimore, including commitments to workforce programs, infrastructure, and public health programs. An announcement such as the one we made just this very week, the U.S. Corps of Engineers will be leasing 143,000 square foot space in Hopkins Plaza, right in the heart of downtown Baltimore. These are perfect examples of what's possible when the federal government, both the legislative and executive and municipal government, work together, focus our efforts, and pool our resources to drive economic development in America's communities. Thank you all for uniting to make this happen. Thank you for being partners with us. And now I wanted to introduce my partner, Nate Lowenthal. Nate is head of the White House Baltimore Task Force, and he has counterparts across the country as well who are doing just a tremendous job in really partnering and supporting and being a real on-the-ground representative and face for the White House. And so it's my pleasure to welcome Nate to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Roth. Really appreciate those kind words. I knew you had always done an amazing job at GSA, but when your car pulled up and the door opened and the rain stopped immediately, I knew there was something very special going on. And it's such a pleasure to be here with you, Mayor Rawlings-Blake. You've been such a great partner with the Obama administration, so it's an honor to be here. As Administrator Roth mentioned, my name is Nate Lowenthal. I lead the President's Task Force for Baltimore City. That's a group of senior federal staff who are working together to marshal federal resources, dollars, technical expertise to help Baltimore City achieve its economic and political goals. This work in general is very personal for me. I grew up in Baltimore City, and today is especially personal. I was born, my family lived less than a mile from here on the 800 block of Holland Street. My dad was a small business owner. He had a bookstore right across from the Hollands Market, and later a small Mexican restaurant, and my mom was a public defender who worked a couple blocks that way. So through their eyes, I saw how the neighborhoods on both sides of MLK came up and down over the years. And so that's why I'm so excited for the opportunity that this development presents, but also conscious of the need to get it right and to make sure that this development benefits everyone across Baltimore. Before I get there, I just want to take a small step back and look at the bigger picture. As someone who grew up in Baltimore and now works in Washington and does economic policy at the White House, I have a chance to look across the country at cities like Baltimore. And what I see here is enormous economic opportunity. Baltimore has world-class educational institutions and strong research capacities, especially in the life sciences. And of course, we're just blocks from the University of Maryland's Hospital Center and Medical School. It's got a strategic location here on the Eastern Seaboard. Of course, Baltimore's history is rooted in being a port city on the Chesapeake. And if anyone's been to Sparrows Point recently, you've seen the remarkable development happening there and the opportunities in transportation and logistics for the city. Baltimore's got proximity to Washington, D.C., which is why you see investments like the Social Security Administration and the Army Corps of Engineers effort that Administrator Roth mentioned. And finally, Baltimore has something that a lot of comparable cities have lost, which is strong cultural institutions and a strong civic sector. The arts museums, the theaters. Just the other day, we brought some of the young social entrepreneurs in Baltimore to the White House to highlight the potential for innovation in the city. And of course, a world-class press corps. This is why you see big companies like Under Armour setting up shop in Baltimore, and why you see new industries like cybersecurity taking root here. And over the last 7 years, the Obama administration has been laser focused on helping Baltimore build its economic fundamentals. We've invested in scientific research at the universities through the National Institute of Health, the National Science Foundation, the Department of Energy, and Baltimore is one of the top recipients in the country for federal scientific research funding. As Administrator Roth mentioned, we've invested in infrastructure here in the city. Just this year, we made a $10 million grant for the Port of Baltimore to help freight movement in and out. And we have a big project going on the Fulton Avenue Bridge, just a couple miles up Route 40. And we've invested in the environment and livability so that people want to live in downtown Baltimore and in the city as a whole, for example, through the Urban Waters Federal Partnership. But in addition to these fundamentals, part of what's going to make Baltimore a growing and dynamic city, continue as a growing and dynamic city, is a strong downtown. The downtown is a face that travelers see when they come to Baltimore. It encourages tourism, it brings retail and shopping downtown, and ultimately helps to build the city's tax base, as the mayor pointed out, and to bring more people to live downtown. And from where I stand, that's the promise of today's sale. Not just the efficient transfer of a federal building, but the addition of a new wing to a beautiful downtown home. And this home will build on the existing efforts of institutions like the University of Maryland Medical Center, the VA Medical Center, the Lexington Market just around the corner, to create new jobs and create a real center of strength here in the downtown. So I'm very excited to see what Cave's partners will do with this great opportunity. You've got plenty of space to work with, although having just walked inside, you've got your work cut out for you as well. But it's not just enough to boost the downtown, and we can't just create professional jobs here. We need to be creating jobs for people all across Baltimore, jobs for people of a range of educational backgrounds and experiences. And when it comes to workforce development and employment pathways, government has a big role to play, which is why the Obama administration has been investing very heavily in workforce development here in Baltimore. We've put $5 million into the One Baltimore for Jobs initiative, which Mayor Rawlings-Blake has spearheaded, which has made grants around the city to help get new job training programs off the ground. For example, Civic Works has been working on solar workforce development and just graduated their first couple of classes. We've also helped work with Mike Cryer at One Baltimore and the mayor to launch Tech Hire to help young people fill the many open technology jobs here in Baltimore. And those efforts will hopefully help to build the workforce in the city. And we're continuing to take steps forward. Today, we're happy to announce that the Department of Energy is awarding $75,000 to Bowie State University to host a summer design and innovation program for young people from Baltimore as part of the Baltimore City's Summer Jobs Program. And that builds on other work from federal agencies and agencies here around the city. Cumulatively, the federal government will be helping host 250 students as part of the Baltimore Summer Jobs Program and helping pay for many of them. But when it comes to workforce, the private sector also has to step up to create opportunities through training programs, through apprenticeships, and for example, by helping to reduce barriers for employment for those with a criminal record. This is another area where the Obama administration has been working hard. Just last month, we launched the Fair Chance Business Pledge, to which companies like Facebook and again Under Armour have signed up to reduce the barriers so that people coming back from jail and prison have an opportunity, and that they get judged on talent and merit and not just on their past mistakes. So I'm very excited to see what we can do with this great site and to working with businesses here and across the city to make sure that the city's economic development benefits not just the downtown, but the city as a whole, and is as inclusive as possible. So thank you very much. I'm going to turn it back over to the mayor.
All right, so as you can see, this is an exciting day for Baltimore. I am so proud to be here again with all of our partners, and I am going to open it up for questions. All right, so I'll just pat myself on the back and say thank you again. When I was standing here thinking about where we were when my administration started in 2010. People had given up on the West Side. There was so much frustration because of there was stagnation in the development. There was a lot of talk about what could happen on the West Side of Baltimore, but nothing was happening. So the people who had property here, the people who were investors here, were extremely frustrated. And I think it's fair to say had really given up hope that something could be different. One of the first things that I knew that I needed to tackle as mayor was changing the dynamic here on the West Side of Baltimore, because I know how important this community is. It is historic. It is the home of one of the world's greatest institutions. And I know that, and we've seen, when we have economic development in this west side of downtown, it's infectious and it's grown. So I think about where we were. I think about the fact that, I am determined to make sure that when we do these things, we do it right. And I brought the Urban Land Institute in, and they brought their experts from around the world to sit down to look at this area and talk about what was possible. And I love a good plan, but it's worthless if you don't enact it. The priority that was established out of that Urban Land Institute, basically charrette, for lack of a better word, was that this partnership exists between the University of Maryland and the city of Baltimore. And what they said is historically, when this level of redevelopment has taken place around the world, it has taken place because the leaders, the executives made it their priority. And I could not have done it without Dr. Perman's constant attention to what was possible here. We know that between the University of Maryland and the city of Baltimore, in this area, we are the main property owners. And this was basically, I would say, the hole in the donut. A big, gaping, vacant hole in the donut. 1.1 million square something or other, square feet of empty. And when you have a community that you're trying to send the signals that we're making progress and we're moving forward, and this is a community whose best days aren't behind them, it's hard to convey that when you have 1.1 million square feet of vacant. And we knew collectively, if we could get this property in active use, it would catapult the work that we are doing around this area. And you cannot walk in a circle around here without seeing the progress that this partnership has created, whether it's the apartments down on Park Avenue or the new restaurants that have opened in this West Side area. You know, talk to Downtown Partnership about the number of new residents that we have in this community. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because there was intention, and there was a purpose to create, to take advantage of the potential, the wasted potential in this community. And again, I want to thank all of the partners that are here, because every single partner played a crucial role in making this happen. Whether it's the Baltimore Development Corporation, whether it's the advisory groups that were a part of the university partnership, every single one, our federal partners, we had to lean on our federal reps, quite a bit during this process. Whether, like I said, the Obama administration, every single person stepped up, believed in what was possible, and did their part to get us to where we are today. So I think about what we've been able to do with no prospect of this moving forward, and it's been amazing. I know that the possibilities and the potential for this community, this is happening. This redevelopment, this amazing redevelopment is going to happen at the same time. And I know I'm probably not supposed to talk about our plans for Lexington Market, but I'm not going to say it, but we're going to talk about it at some point in the summer. July, so just pretend I didn't say it. But when we talk about that next month, big things are happening. And I know, maybe you can see the water if you stand on the roof, but people like to think about the fact that the only major development has happened on the waterfront. No, this is development that is affecting Baltimore's neighborhoods, and that's why, to me, this is so important that this is a true catalyst for the true potential of our city. Yes, no, maybe so. Let's put him on the spot. Mr. Adler.
Good morning. So we came into this toward the end of that public-private partnership and the auction process. But as the mayor knows and Mr. Cole knows, and Kirby knows, we're huge believers in the city. We have projects all over the city. We think the city is doing great. We think the mayor's done an amazing job with it, and we're looking forward to taking this building, which is 22 acres of empty space, and converting into something productive that we think will feed out into the neighborhoods. We've met with the Lexington Market people. We're excited about them doing things. We think we're going to help them. They're going to help us. Look, what immediate plans, Natalie? The first thing is the federal government didn't believe in parking. This building has very, very limited parking, so I think it's fair to say that one of our first projects is going to be designing and building a substantial parking deck, because frankly nobody's going to lease this building without some parking. So that's a real part of it. But the bones of this building are great, as Somebody said the interiors need some love and care. You know, from a green building efficiency standards, it needs a lot of work, and that's what really we're working on. And we're going to bring the building back to life, super efficient, great location, great access. We think great neighbors, obviously. Dr. Pierman and the medical systems and the VA and the state complex a couple blocks to the north. We think all this will make for a great synergy on this side of west side of town, and we're just excited to be part of it. And you know, as everybody behind me kind of knows, we're hometown guys. You know, we're all Baltimore people, born and raised here, and we're excited about doing our part to make this part of the city better. So we really would like to make it mixed use. Whether residential is a component about it right now, I couldn't speak. I mean, obviously, the Time Group is building great apartments right around the corner. That's close. There's a development right across the street that's student housing. Clearly, we'll have a retail component of this. Clearly, we'll have office and parking. Whether residential, I can't say right now. The building will stay. One of the other bidders was going to take it down, but we're going to keep it up. So as anything with private business, it's all market driven. I mean, as soon as we have a tenant, we'll start working. I mean, we're working now. I mean, you know, there's some things going on in this building right now that we're taking some old things out that are never going to stay, and we're doing some things to keep the building going while we're redeveloped. But for the most part, I would say that it'll go as quickly as the market will let us. I mean, we're ready to start tomorrow if we have a tenant. It does, but we're going to do it a little bit more efficiently. I don't want to embarrass my friend, but we don't have, we're going to do it a little bit more efficiently. Right. But yeah, the government has certain restraints and laws and all that we don't have, and the mayor's right. I mean, we're going to be able to do this. It's going to cost us a lot of money to maintain the building, and we're just got our first tax bill, and we're going to pay that. And this building hasn't been on the tax rolls, so that's all good. But yes, we do have that cost.
I didn't. Just pretend I didn't say that. Anything?
One right up the street that we really need.
That's interesting that you say that. So while I was, again, where we're talking about, and Steve, you've made me think about it when you just talked about the student housing and you mentioned State Center. It's another prime example of something that could be an amazing transformation, and that impacts even more neighborhoods. But what I'll say is, I don't think that the state is blind to the needs of the redevelopment in that area. I hope that when they see the Obama administration and GSA step up in the way that they've done to ensure that this project takes place, when they see the level of private investment here, they'll understand the urgency with which Baltimore needs them to move forward with the State Center. Thank you all very, very much.